Hey everybody, welcome back. The next question that we have for Dad is, do I need an air filter in the house?
An air filter in the house. It's actually, when Ryan and I started looking at becoming healthier ourselves, one of the very first things we did was we put an air filter in the house. We put it where we spend the majority of our time, and it could actually clean the most air in the house. It is very important for you to have an air filter in your house because most people don't get enough fresh air circulating throughout their house. Or your house or apartment isn't ventilated well enough to remove the pollutants that are in the air in your home.
Right.
This is known as indoor air pollution, and it affects both your home and your work. Indoor air pollution is usually more concentrated than outdoor air pollution. Indoor air pollution can actually be affected by temperature and humidity. That actually will that will actually increase the concentration of some of the pollutants that will be in your home. So, for these reasons, we highly recommend that you put an air filter in your home or your workplace. Some of the sources for indoor air pollution, a lot of people don't realize, is if you have a wood burning, because now it's winter, we just got a blizzard up in the Northeast. Not too many people are using their fireplaces here in Texas anymore, but definitely if you have a wood burning stove, you got indoor air pollution.
Yeah.
Even personnel, if you're with the kerosene heaters, space heaters, if you're using propane to heat your house or natural gas, all that will create indoor air pollution. Building materials and furnishings, as diverse as deteriorated asbestos-containing insulation, or you can have wet or damp carpeting. Your cabinetry or your furniture made of certain pressed particle boards will actually cause indoor air pollution, especially because you get the wet or damp carpeting. If there's any mold, you're going to have a lot of indoor air pollution from those. But also you have products from household cleaners and things that you use for maintenance and personal care or your hobbies. Your central heating and air and cooling systems in your house will actually...
Humidifiers
will cause indoor air pollution. And if you open up your windows, you could get outside air pollution, especially if you live in cities like Shanghai or, for all of our Chinese friends out there. But if you're in Los Angeles, New York, or a major city, Chicago, you open up your windows, it's really not going to help a whole lot. You'll get some of the air out, but you're also bringing outdoor pollution in. And we do see this a lot more, and it's getting a lot more attention because people are putting radon detectors in their homes and carbon monoxide testers in their homes. So definitely people are getting more educated on indoor air pollution and the effects of it because of these extra, it used to be you only had smoke alarms in your house. Now all of a sudden you walk in, it's like, what's that? Like carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide testers. And you realize, oh, well, that's actually a big problem. It actually saved my sister's family. So, the importance of any single source depends on, the given pollutant and how it's emitted. Like say you got a stove. If you don't maintain your stove and you have a gas stove, it could actually, if it's malfunctioning, be emitting more pollutants into the air than one that's actually working properly. Some sources are continually emitting pollutants into your house. The building materials, the furnishings, the household products, air fresheners. When you plug those things in, they're made of oil, which is a little bit of a petroleum. Or if you have those very nice smelling candles, unless it's a soy candle, most of your candles are made of petroleum. That's why when you burn it, if you put something up top, you'll notice like this black stuff kind of gets on there. And that's because those candles and those fresheners, anything that's made of oils, will create indoor air pollution. So even though your house smells good, you may not actually be helping it out a whole lot.
What about incense?
Incense actually, it's indoor air pollution because it's smoke. Just like a tobacco product.
That's what I thought. I was just,
those are kind of there are some things that are constant in your house, and then there's some things that are more intermittent. The incense, if you burn them, they smell great, but it is indoor air pollution. Your tobacco products are intermittent indoor. If you got the space heaters, the furnaces coming on and off. Candles, all those things are causing indoor air pollution, but they're not constant. So you got some things that are constantly creating it, and some things that you will use throughout the day that will create more indoor air pollution. And all this needs to be cleaned up somehow. If you can't get the fresh air in, you need to have a good air filter that's going to actually get this out. Because there are a lot of effects that you can get from indoor air pollution. There's some immediate effects. When we've all done this, maybe you have a hobby and you're spray painting some car parts or something, whatever you're building, and that scent gets in the air. and you walk in and it irritates your nose or your eyes, or especially if you use modeling glue and things like that. It'll really, and those are immediate effects, the irritation, eyes, nose, throat, things like that.
Headaches.
Yeah, headaches, dizziness.
Yeah.
All that can happen. That's all because of indoor air pollution. The higher the concentration, the longer it stays in your house. Sometimes the effects actually manifest themselves as something else. Like mold will keep people sick. So if you're getting a lot of colds, you're frequently getting colds and you don't understand, why am I always getting these colds or viruses? You might have mold in your house somewhere. Behind a wall, you'll find black mold. You get rid of that, if you especially live in an apartment, have them knock it out, have them get rid of it all. Don't stay in that apartment while they're doing that. And then you'll start feeling better immediately when you come back in. If it's in your house, be looking for that. If you have wet or damp carpeting, you have to pull it all out. If you get your carpet wet and you think, okay, it's dry on the surface, but underneath there, you've got the padding. If that stays wet, that will mold. And you have to get rid of that because indoor air pollution also has long-term effects.
Right.
The long-term effects are actually quite serious. And it's not just colds and viruses. You could end up with cancer, respiratory diseases, or heart disease, actually, from indoor air pollution.
Okay.
So I hope that gives everybody a better understanding. We went out and bought an air filter for our home. Look, we realized eventually that it was actually the oxygen that we needed.
Yeah.
The indoor, your air purifier won't put more oxygen in the air, but when you start to understand that you need more oxygen, so we started doing our deep breathing exercises.
You don't want to do deep breathing with polluted air.
Exactly. You want to breathe good, fresh air. So get yourself a good air filter for your home.